So welcome to EFL on this auspicious occasion this afternoon. The Minister is here to make the announcement of the performance pay for the employees of EFL.
It is the third year in a row that EFL has been issuing performance-based bonuses and which have been being achieved well over 95%. It is a testimony to members of EFL team from all the departments for meeting its performance target, its KPIs, and also ensuring that we are lifting the bar each time.
Bulavinak, and a very good afternoon to you all. As you know, that we've been doing now these 3 years in a row. It's becoming a bit of a habit. So let's keep that habit up. You know, back in 2009, I had mentioned to the CEO then that we must move away from the antiquated way of dealing with rewarding staff. And that is, you know, through simple things like COLA. We need to have performance assessed rewards for individuals. And today, EFL is making a payout of $1.9 million that, of course, will be shared by 792 staff members of EFL. This is unprecedented. I know in the days prior to 2007, they used to have, you know, what they call bonuses paid out, but it was only paid out to the senior management. In fact, the ordinary staff did not get paid those types of bonuses. So we have that now in place, and of course, you'll all get individual, you know, assessments on that, which is based on your individual performance, and also the assessment based on your actual, your SBAs, your service business activities, the different groupings. So you'll be getting there, and I think this is quite an enormous achievement on your part. Of course, none of this could have been achieved without your individual input. The whole idea is to have a collaborative, you know, effort by the staff and, of course, the management and indeed the board. As the chair highlighted, you know, it is very, very important. I see your staff here from Lautoka that are also listening in. It's very, very important to ensure that we understand the business that you are in. The story I want to tell you, he's also mentioned, for example, Baker McKenzie, etc., about mobile phones. They weren't able to see the future. You know, many of you would have grown up with a company called Kodak. Kodak was the film that you used, you know, when you took photographs. Kodak was the camera that Kodak film was what you used. And you went and printed photographs. You got the film, then you went and printed it. When the technology of digital photographs came out, and which we all use now. Nobody uses those film that you take out and you go and print it and you know, put it under water and you print photographs. Kodak management decided that, you know, nobody's going to take this up. Today, Kodak no longer exists. It's shut down because they weren't able to see the future. They did not adopt the technology, and Kodak as a company shut down because everybody else adopted digital photographs. So another issue, of course, I want to highlight is today, nearly 80 to 90%, I understand close to 90% of all your prepaid customers pay through M-Pesa or the digital platform. Only 10% actually use those old machines. It goes to show that people in the rural areas have also adopted the technology. In order to stay relevant, we need to ensure that we need to adopt technology. We need to be able to improve our business processes. Government at the moment, for example, is working with the ADB and World Bank and various other organizations to, for example, bring in electric buses into Fiji. When you bring in electric buses, they need electric charging stations. You need electric charging stations, you need electricity. You need to provide that electricity. There will be a demand for more electricity usage. So which means essentially you need to produce more. You need to have a stable infrastructure to be able to produce more electricity. What are your sources of energy? Where will you get it from? Are you actually putting in enough resources into adopting the technology, but also putting in infrastructure? You don't have a redundancy line from Nandari Vatu into Suva and into Vunda. You need to have a redundancy line. If one line goes out, the other one should be able to pick up on it. This is how you run a modern nation state. You need to make the investments. You need to keep your customers live with electricity. You yourself need it. Of course, there are many parts of Fiji that still don't have electricity. This year, government is expending $50 million in the 2018-2019 budget to in fact put in place, get people connected to the grid, extend the grid, or you have standalone electricity systems. We have, of course, at the moment, the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation is working together with the efforts by the Honourable Prime Minister as President of COP23, VO Island. We're now putting in a three-way partnership with EFL and, of course, the stakeholders themselves, the villages, and the Synergize, which is the private company, to get them to have a standalone grid in respect of access to electricity. These people are only a few meters away from the mainland Viti Levu, but they have not had water. Now they actually have water. They do not have electricity. Now they're going to get electricity. So they can actually enjoy the modern day amenities that you and I enjoy living in Viti Levu, where you have actually electricity connection to the grid. So these are some of the situations that we need to be able to understand. So we need everybody's collaborative effort, not just the chairman and the board, for example, developing this relationship, which we hope to be a wonderful relationship with ECO, which is a French company well renowned for its renewable energy technology and capacity and indeed investment in that area, but also to be able to work collaboratively with all the stakeholders in Fiji, including yourselves. And as we've seen, that if you get a high level of collaboration within an organization, you get a high level of reward. You're able to maintain sustainable practices, but also sustainable business processes that will ensure that everybody that's within the organization will not only get better rewards in terms of monetary rewards, but be able to have good career paths. We want people to be trained, highly trained. There's a lot of technology, there's a lot of business processes that you don't know yet, that we need to know. Even as government, we need to know. This is why, for example, government has, in this year's budget, offered new scholarships for civil servants and non-civil servants to actually do a PhD, to do masters. So, your staff at this organization can also apply for that. You may have somebody in a particular area that needs to, upgrade their skill sets. So they can also apply, it's not just civil servants. So we are working, collaboratively to ensure that we get you rewarded, get the organization rewarded, and the company also benefits too. And I'm also very excited about the fact that EFL board has decided to work together with a French company to not just look at investments in Fiji, but also outside Fiji. A case in point is ATH, Amalgamated Telecom Holdings, that owns Telecom, that owns Vodafone. They also now have business interests in the region. They're now in Samoa. They've collaborated, they bought a mobile phone company there. They actually have collaborations in business ventures in Solomon Islands, looking at opportunities there. And even further than that. So there's obviously an opportunity for a good Fijian company with good management practices, good business processes, adherence to ensuring that we don't have corruption, we have high levels of transparency, to be able to do a JV with a French company and actually be able to get business interests outside of Fiji. Enormous opportunities. Fiji, of course, is the hub of the South Pacific. We are the most connected country in the South Pacific. We fly to every single continent that rims the Pacific Ocean, except South America. We need to take advantage of that. We are actually on the cusp of moving on to a very high level of economic growth, even more so than what we have had. We need to take advantage of that. And our ability to take advantage of that depends on our ability as a country, as individuals, as organizations, to soak in this new technology, to look at new ways of thinking. And if we're able to adopt that, then of course you have individually a lot more prosperous lives, a lot more prosperity in the country, and overall everybody benefits. So with those introductory remarks and concluding remarks, I'd like to also thank again the chairman of the board. As I've always said, he brings a very new level and heightened level of energy and enthusiasm, and of course a business acumen that is unprecedented, I would say, within EFL. Of course also your CEO. And thank you again once again for your hard work, for your collaboration. We look forward to you working a lot more closely with your management, with your board, so EFL can actually become a significant company, not just in Fiji, but indeed in the region. And we must take advantage of the position that Fiji has. Thank you, Ambassador, for availing yourself, and your good wife for being here. We look forward to much better collaboration with the ECHO and for the mutual benefit of both our countries. Vinaka, and have a good afternoon. Thank you.